Hello everybody, welcome to Yes Have Some. Today we are going to be taking a look at the James Bond Jr. sports car. This is Yes Have Some Unboxed. Alright, like we said, we have the James Bond Jr. sports car here. This is from 1991. This line of toys was put out by Hasbro to support the animated series James Bond Jr. Only lasted for about one season, something like 60 episodes, and a lot of those episodes are available on YouTube, so check those out. If you've never seen it, it's a lot of fun, especially that theme song, one of the classic early 90s theme songs for sure. Okay, so like I like to do, let's take a look at a little bit of the box art here. We've got Dr. No right there in the passenger seat. Now that is the passenger seat because this is James Bond Jr. in the James Bond franchise, which takes place in England. So we see James Bond Jr., the nephew of James Bond, not the son, driving on the other side of the road.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Got the original art there on the front. Not much going on the back, just a picture of what's inside, but I thought it would be fun. Listen, this guy, unlike some vehicles from this time period, does not come with a figure. Well, we're not going to be able to do this without some James Bond Jr. action figures, am I right? We got Odd Job, which is a really cool design, kind of has a Run DMC inspired look there. And then I actually picked up the Dr. No figure as well. We'll take a look at him. And one of my favorite characters from the show, Gordon Leiter. Is it Leiter or Leader? He's kind of a Spicoli. Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles inspired. He's a skateboarder, kind of California airhead type.
Yeah, you totally smothered that the range, dude.
Did I say Gordon earlier? To see what Gordo is all about. Back of the packaging, very cool. Features all of the characters that are available in the line. James Bond Jr. in the scuba gear, the regular gear, IQ. There's a few more vehicles, including a cycle and a scum shark, because they're always chasing scum on James Bond Jr. It's in the song, for God's sake.
No one can stop him, but scum always tries. Young Bond cuts through each web of spies.
2 bond points, so those are going to come in handy. I'd hang on to those bond points if I were you. All right, so let's start digging in. Now, we talked about this on the last episode. Some people think it's a little bit blasphemous to be opening these vintage toys, but I am an advocate. I like to open my toys and play with them. These would make great display pieces in the package. The box art's really cool, but I'm going to open them because I'm going to need to put them in my sports car. Very creative name. I think they were probably coming up on a time limit or something. It said, let's go with sports car.
Well, they say a man who has to buy a big car like that's trying to compensate for smaller genitals, is he? But not your case.
Whoop, his hat fell out there. Very cool figure, very colorful, very toyetic for sure. And these are a little bit different. This is not in the scale of like a G.I. Joe or something you would have seen from Hasbro at this time. This is definitely more along the lines of something you might see with Playmates, like the Ninja Turtles scale or the Dick Tracy figures. Looks like it comes with a little bit of spy gear as well. We'll put that to the side. Some sort of decoder action. All right, let's take a look at Dr. No. And it's kind of silly. It shows the instructions of how to actually use these guys, but you kind of tear it open as you open it, so it's kind of weird. Okay, cool. So we've got our Dr. No figure here. Get him all situated with a skateboard. All right, so we've got our James Bond Jr. figures here. Listen, were you a fan of James Bond Jr. growing up? Do you remember these figures? Did you have them? Don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Let's get some discussion going around these James Bond Jr. figures. Is this a line of figures that you might start collecting after watching this video? I don't know. That's up to you. I can't make you do that. Let's go ahead and dive into the sports car. Now, this doesn't seem to have tape. This seems to be more of a glue situation, which kind of sucks, but we'll be careful as we dive in here to kind of get it open without damaging anything, tearing anything. Got some feedback on our last video that people did not enjoy my scissors, so I've moved to a multi-tool, and we'll eventually move to a nice box cutter. Okay, so we got that open pretty easily. Let's take a look.
A James Bond Jr. secret mission and scums after the sports car. So Bond uses the battering ram and activates the tail gun.
Okay. All right, so let's see what we got here. We've got our label sheet. as you can see there. So we are going to be doing some labels, hubcaps or rims or something like that. We'll be assembling those. Got our steering wheel, a couple other things there. So yeah, we're gonna have to put some stuff together. We got a windshield. We've got our car. This is pretty big. This is not small. It's about 10 to 11 inches. So a good sized vehicle. We've got some more parts and pieces there. We've got our instructions, and then we've got our information card. If you're going to collect those, you'll want to hold on to that. A lot of these old parts and pieces are very fragile, so you just want to be careful. We've got our hubcap installation first, like we saw earlier. We've got these nice chromed out weaponized hubcaps, so we'll tear this open now. These actually have some good weight to it. It's not metal or die cast or anything, but it's not cheap plastic. Well, maybe it is cheap, but it doesn't feel cheap. So we're gonna pop these out. Be careful. We got 4 hubcaps, obviously.
Tomorrow morning is the drawing to see who goes to Le Mans, France for the 24-hour race.
All right, so we got our hubcaps there. We're gonna go ahead and attach these per the instructions. Each one snaps into each wheel. The wheels are already on the vehicle, so we don't have to worry about that. So, all right, we've got to get our steering wheel going, so let's do that. That was on the other piece here. I'm going to go ahead and pop all of these little pieces off. These parts of the vehicle are assembled very similar to how you would see with like a G.I. Joe vehicle. And if you want to see a G.I. Joe vehicle being built, check out the Crimson Cruiser vehicle that we just did on our last YHS Unboxed. I don't know if you can see, there's a little red nub there that we're just going to push that steering wheel into, and it snaps right in. And now let's look at our windshield. You know, I just really love getting these old toys and putting them together. Obviously, you could buy this out of the box and maybe save a few dollars. But to me, part of the fun is reliving what it was like on Christmas morning or on your birthday and getting these James Bond Jr. figures for the first time. There were so many great toy lines as a kid. I'm a huge Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles fan, as you can see in the background here. But this is one of those ones that kind of forgot about over the years and I'm now revisiting. You know, that windshield turned out to be a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. And I'm having weird, vague memories of 30 years ago of putting this together originally as a kid and having some issues. Kind of those toy memories that are stored in the back of your brain and you're just accessing files that you haven't looked at.
They're in the computer?
Yeah, be careful with that. There's a couple pegs on the bottom part of the windshield that proved to be a little bit difficult. But it's in there nice and tight now. Now we've got our rear spoiler. Normally I avoid spoilers, but I will make a little exception for today. I'm so sorry for that. So you're going to stick it into the tab there. It should snap in pretty easily. Oh boy. There we go. Cool. Spoiler is on there. And then these guys are actually our exhaust pipe missiles. So we'll go ahead and install those. Everybody needs a good exhaust pipe missile. And we'll demo those a little bit later. All right, so our car is actually put together here. Let's take a look at this guy before we look at any of the labels. That is the James Bond Jr. sports car. Very cool. A lot of playability here. This is going to be a fun line to collect. And also, if you just need like a red sports car for maybe one of your other 4.5 to 5 inch toy lines, this thing would fit in really nicely. We're going to go ahead and start doing these labels. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button in the bottom right corner of your screen there, because we're going to be doing a ton of these unboxing videos. I'm going to try to do 4 or 5 a week for everybody here at Yes Have Some. All right, cool. So we've got our label sheet that we looked at a little bit earlier. Labels here, and we've got our instructions. Let's go ahead and tear through these. Let's do it. All right, we've got all of our labels on. Some of those are really kind of hard to align properly, so be careful. I don't know if this was a standard thing, but it actually came with 2 sets of labels. So if I messed any of those up, which I may have, 1 or 2, created some wrinkles I didn't want to, I can always go ahead and reapply those. Really cool decals, though, very detailed. We've got the inside of the dash there, which is very cool. A little ghost trap or something. I don't know.
I looked at the trap, Ray.
One thing I love is that for a secret agent, it's kind of funny to put James Bond Jr. Just to write it out on the back of your vehicle. And then, of course, the James Bond Jr. logo featured on the center of all the hubcaps. So not going to really keep too much of a low profile, I don't think. Okay, cool. So all of our labels are on. All of our missiles are attached. So look at this. Let's go ahead. Now, I don't actually have a James Bond Jr. figure, so I'm not going to be able to perfectly recreate the box art there, but let's go ahead and get these guys situated and see what this thing looks like with some figures inside. We'll stand Dr. No because unlike the box art there is no articulation in the knee to have him bending like that. So we'll do that. Here, that's what we'll do. Man, I hope Oddjob doesn't throw his hat at me. That'd be rude. All right, cool. So we'll have Gordo there, who's got some really fun, kind of springy articulation there at the waist. The other figures don't have that. All right, and there we have it. There is the James Bond Jr. sports car. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the functionality and see what this guy can do. So there is a button near the front of the dashboard that releases the battering ram. So let's take a look at that. Where is it? Ah, here it is. So there's a button there. Here, I'm going to take him out in the front of the console there. So if you press that, you get your battering rams come out. Very cool. We'll do it from this angle so everybody can see. All right, very cool. And then we've got our missiles back here that launch. There's a button between the seats, the one that looks like the ghost trap. You press that down and oh my God, that was awesome. All right, cool. So this is the James Bond Jr. sports car. Let me grab those missiles to get them reattached so I don't lose them and a cat grabs them. All right, here is some close-up shots of the old sports car here.
No one can stop him, but scum always tries. Young Bond cuts through each web of...
All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us for the Yes Have Some Unboxed for the James Bond Jr. sports car and figures. If you want to see more of this, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and let us know if there's any figures or vehicles, vintage or new, that you'd like to see unboxed, and we will take that into consideration. Until next time, this was Yes Have Some Unboxed.